Hey, everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and I'm sorry, I shoot from this location a lot. I like it because it's right on top of my microwave in my kitchen. And I've got a butcher block, so the thing just sits right here in front of my cabinet, but it's at a slight up angle, which you can really see my neck waddle. Really, realistically, you should always be kind of up and downwards, and see that should look a lot better. But I don't care enough about you to go through that trouble. Just being honest here. So today I'm showing off my new camera. Anybody who watches my vinyl community videos, the VC, this probably, you won't understand this, but anybody who watches the Disney stuff will understand this. Now, the Disney vloggers all drool over the GX7, the Canon GX7, which has, it's more of a traditional camera, and it's got a flip-up screen, so that way you can do the selfies. That camera is roughly $600, and honestly, we don't want to spend the money. That's really the better way of putting it. It's not that we can't afford it, but for the use we would get out of it, it just wasn't going to work out for us. But we do like doing vlogs, and you need to see yourself. So this camera is the Vixia HF R800. There are a couple different models. The different models have internal memory. You don't really need that. This camera sells for $200. Now it's weird because you're holding this is like an antique holding a camera like this, right? These days are over, but you should consider this camera because, well, one, you can flip the screen around, which is great. So this is, by the way, I was talking about. So there's the microwave, and then there's the cabinet that holds up the iPad so I can see myself and talk to you. And there we go. So we got infinity a little bit, if I wasn't blown out. Anyway, so this camera, $200. Now you can aim at yourself, right? And I'm aiming right now. I've actually cut to the camera. Hi, hello, how are you? And one of the things I think we'll pick up on this, if it wasn't blown out, is there is a detection on here that it actually, there it is, you can see it right where I'm hitting my finger. You can hit where a human face is, and it'll keep that in focus and lit perfectly no matter what. So it's got fuzzy logic, which is great. It's got I think a 57 times zoom, and also besides having electronic stabilization, it's got mechanical stabilization. You may notice that the lens is a little funky on this, and that is because, hi, I'm back to you now. We are looking at a wide angle lens. You can buy these wide angle lenses for 20 bucks. Actually, it was 20 bucks to come with a telephoto lens and a wide angle lens, and it pops right off. So this is what it looks like now without the wide angle lens. So I'm a little bit closer. Let's get that neck waddle out. Hey, there's my living room. But when we put it on, now you can see immediately the difference. Not only that, 20 bucks, 2 lenses, and this protects the main lens, right, from scratches. So that's another reason to have this. I've got my telephoto lens in here as well, in my camera bag, which you can't see. Oh, there it is. Let me flip this around so you can actually, there we go. So I got my camera bag here. Got the one lens and have the telephoto lens. The only time I'm ever going to need that telephoto lens, I just dropped a ring adapter, is to shoot parades and things like that. That would be a reason to have it. However, I've also got additional cameras. This is a waterproof camera that I bought on Amazon for 25 bucks. Now, there's no viewfinder or anything like that, but it's extremely wide angle, and it's by touch. So you can feel it buzz, and there's a green and red light, so you know when it's recording. When we went to Disney in May of 2016, I used this camera a bit, and same thing in September of 2016, I used this camera a bit. And also in December of 2016, I used this camera a bit. The original camera, let me put down the Canon. Original camera that we would shoot our vlogs on is still a good camera. There's no reason not to keep and use this camera. And this is what we shot our entire vlogs on. This Sony Cybershot. It's nice and small. The nice thing is you can just hold it like this. It's got a fairly wide angle lens, so it's great for going on rides. I think from now on, this will be my ride camera, because holding this thing when we're driving around, I don't know about it. Also, while I'm here, I might as well show a little bit more. This is a GoPro knockoff. It's, I think, $30. It's a terrible camera. I did use this when we went to Universal, and I was shocked at how bad the picture is. However, it is good for when you are actually underwater. So while the other camera is good when you're above water and you're getting it wet, this camera will be good because it does have a viewfinder. So if we are shooting and staying under, which we plan on our next trip, when we go to Discovery Cove, this will work well for what we need it to. Also, I bought this camera. It's a toy. It was a knockoff. I don't remember how much I spent, 40 bucks, something like that. And it is actually a 3D camera. It's got a viewfinder on the back, and it shoots in 3D. We have a 3D TV. Its image is terrible, but how else are you going to shoot 3D? Well, I can tell you, actually, you can buy this lens kit for like 300 bucks to put on, well, probably this Canon here, or higher end cameras, and it actually will split and make double image. But I'm not doing that. What else can I show you? A SD card holder. So this will hold and organize SD cards as you shoot through them. I tend to shoot in 720p. I know that's probably crazy for some vloggers, but most of my video is going to go up on YouTube anyway, and I'd rather have more memory and not deal with memory cards. This camera does 1080. The original, I think this only did 720 anyway. So now this is shooting in 1080. I have not decided on my next trip what I'm going to shoot yet. This camera also does a whole bunch of other modes, but that's not what I wanted to get into. What I wanted to get into was some of the key benefits of having a camera like this instead of lusting after the GX7, which everyone who does vlogs does. The nice thing also about having a cheaper camera is, one, I won't feel bad if it's knocked around, but this camera has a microphone input. Now, I've had terrible luck shooting parades and fireworks at Disney with this thing because the microphone right there there's no volume control or any kind of control sensitivity. This camera has got a good microphone. They're under here. I won't know until I'm at Disney how it does. However, as Gil noticed in one of my videos when I was experimenting, you can hook up the external microphone, and this is a Rode knockoff from China, 25 bucks. Great quality. There's some videos on YouTube saying it's basically the same thing, and for only 20 bucks. The only problem is there's no hot shoe on this camera, but there is a tripod mount. So I just bought a hot shoe tripod mount, and while it looks weird having a microphone underneath because everyone expects a microphone on top, in reality it makes no difference. So I can have a microphone attached to this camera like that. I can also choose to use an adapter like this, or you can mount it like this and have the microphone attached and have a whole rig. This is really good for kind of stabilization, though the camera does a good job of that on its own. If you don't like the angle, I do have this crazy larger contraption, which I've used in the past on when we do tripod shots. So while it looks weird, seeing you can mount other things right onto the back of it, the bottom of it. While it looks weird, it does the job. And so with 2 batteries, a quick battery charger, the additional lenses, the additional microphone, the additional hot shoe adapter, you know, we're about $300 in now to the camera. Let me zoom all the way out. I've been playing around with this so much. So that is the quality of this camera. Let's again see if I can show you the screen with all the different bits of information. So I'm very happy with the purchase. The SD card on here, I put a 64 gig. So one card really will probably work for me. Some vloggers just are constantly shooting. We don't constantly shoot. I guess being ex-cameramen, we know just inherently, you know, Marissa was a professional camera person, so was I for the news. So we know exactly the shots we need to tell the story, and then we just, that's it. When I edit, I don't have hours and hours and hours of footage, but I do have sequential stories pretty much ready in the can. Because again, that's how we learned how to do it on the job. You know, you would shoot a story and you just shoot exactly what you'd need, cover shots, and then go on with your life. So that's my camera. Those are all my other cameras and my thinking behind it. New camera bag. There's enough room in here, the pouch, to hold ponchos in case it rains and any kind of first aid stuff that we normally carry, and some Purell. That's basically the only bag we bring into the parks. That's it from Chris from Vixia HF Farm. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.